what's up? Today we're taking a look at Siege Deluxe Impactor, and the idiot that I am, I opened the box before shooting it and threw it away, so I don't have it anymore. Yay! But before I start this review, I just want to say one thing. This is amazing and you need one in your life. Okay, on to how tall this dude is. So this figure retails for around 30 bucks Canadian, 20 to 25 in the US, and he stands around 5.5 inches or 13.9 centimeters tall, which is a little bit taller than your standard Deluxe. It's about the same size as Ironhide from Siege and all that sort of stuff. Overall, the detail of this figure is awesome. The paint and color separation is on point. The back isn't as detailed as the front, but you aren't going to be looking at the back that much, so that's fine. But let's just talk about the problem that everyone seems to be having with this guy, and that's the hollow legs. From an angle like this, you can't really see them, which is fine. I mean, they don't bug me that much. They're not as big of a deal as the pictures made it seem, but I mean, there are plenty of upgrade kits out there if you want to fix it yourself, but overall I think they look okay. The hollow legs honestly don't look that bad, to me anyways. Ignoring the hollow legs, it is easier than it looks. This figure looks absolutely awesome. To my knowledge, this is the only official Impactor figure we've had that it's its own mold, and I love Impactor from Last Stand of the Wreckers and Sins of the Wreckers and all that sort of stuff. And for people who can't get the Mastermind Creations version, which still is the best version of Impactor, this is a great alternative. And I know this figure's not out anymore because it was Siege and Earthrise Wave 2 was starting to show up in places, but apparently this is going to be coming out with the Netflix wave, so you'll still probably be able to get your hands on it, which is nice because this thing is awesome. Like, the detail on this guy, the fact that they put the IDW cues in this figure is just awesome. The hook hand, the head sculpt is very IDW-esque, that shoulder cannon shape, the tank mode in general is kind of IDW. I mean, IDWs kind of look more like a bubble, but this one still looks neat. I really like it. I think it's awesome, and you should pick one up. The Autobot symbol is in purple. That's to do with the 2-pack version of him. It comes with the Decepticon symbol. I have no idea what that's about because at the time of this recording, Siege, the show, hasn't come out yet. But yeah, I mean, detail-wise, it's covered in detail. It's got the Siege ports all over him and the blast effect tabs all over him. So he looks cool. I like him. Size comparison wise, yeah, like I said, he's 5.5 inches, so a little bit taller than your standard Deluxe. You have him now, you can complete your Wreckers. I only have a few, so let's put those next to him. I really need a Voyager Whirl, like immediately, but getting that Cyberverse Whirl out of the way, he stands really well next to your Wreckers. He does look a little bit more on point with this Springer as opposed to the Titans Returns Cup. Yeah, I mean, if you want to complete your Wreckers, you can. That's pretty sick. Compared to like Crosshairs and Hoist from Earthrise, he's about the same size as both of them. And next to a proper Voyager, like Shockwave here, he's almost, I mean, Shockwave's a leader, but that's a Voyager figure, come on. He's almost as tall as him. But yeah, like I said, Hoist, he's the same height because Hoist is one of those bigger Voyagers. So yeah, he scales pretty well with other figures like that. He looks big and tall and chunky. Definitely worth the price in my opinion. Getting Shockwave here and some nicer light so you can actually see him. Articulation wise, the head is on a ball joint, so you do get some swivel, not really wiggly waggly. The shoulders can do full 360 and can go out further than 90. You have a bicep swivel, waist joint. I totally forgot to mention there's a 90-degree bend at the elbow, but there is one. Hips are on a universal joint. You have a swivel at the knee and a knee bend, and ankle pivot, which is a bit stiff on my figure, but hey, that's good for stability. And the toes can point down, but that doesn't really buy you anything. For accessories, you get this gun here in that unpainted gray plastic. Looks okay. Mine's a little bent, a little tilted up a bit, which is a little unfortunate, especially in tank mode. It looks a bit off, but that's just a problem with mine. And then you get his hook, harpoon, toothbrush thing, but that can plug into his hand just like it's supposed to in IDW and all that. You can take the hand and fold it in. There's a port on the other end, and you can plug it into his hand. It plugs into either one, and then this just, he holds it like a normal gun. So accessory wise is not bad. the overall, the robot mode is awesome. If you can get past the hollow legs, it's awesome. It's definitely worth the price just for the robot mode alone. And just for the fact that we actually now have an Impactor, that's just awesome. I never thought we'd actually get one of these, and then when the fan vote came out for Mirage versus Impactor, which I don't understand why they did that pairing, but they did it. I thought that was cool, and then I immediately thought, oh, it's going to be an exclusive, and we're not going to be able to get it, because Canada doesn't get the Hasbro exclusives a lot of the time. But they made it a regular figure, and that's awesome, so I definitely recommend picking this guy up for the robot mode alone. Transformation is actually quite fun, too. It's not your typical tank former transformation, but it's still a fun tank former transformation. It's easy, it's not that hard to do, so that's quite nice. And the tank mode. My god, the tank mode. That has got to be one of the best, easily top 10 tank modes that we've got in recent years. These are the only two other tank figures I had in their tank mode at the time. I think I said tank too many times. But yeah, the tank mode is just awesome. And the fact that the turret spins and the barrel moves up and down, that doesn't happen on a lot of tank formers in general. So that's awesome. The color separation on this guy is amazing. I love how it's yellow at the bottom and mostly purple at the top. The scratch marks, the siege scratch marks, actually make sense in their placement because they're on the treads, where they would be if the treads are kicking dirt and debris up into his legs. Just overall, I really like this tank mode. It looks awesome. I really think this is definitely one of Hasbro's best tank modes of all time. Unless it was Takara that designed this, then this is Takara's best tank mode of all time. Because it's just that good. The fact that the turret rotates and moves up and down, I don't think I've seen that on a tank former like this since Darkmount from the old Classics generations, that era of toys. Because that figure had a turret that went up and down and rotated, and then most of the time it's either just rotating or just up and down. So this is awesome. He rolls, he's got some plastic wheels at the bottom, doesn't roll that great, but that shouldn't be a deciding factor for most people. Comparison-wise, just to show you here him next to Hoist and Shockwave. The tank mode is more of a deluxe scale when compared to the Voyagers, but it's still a thick boy compared to Hoist. He's larger than Hoist, but he's definitely smaller than a standard Voyager in tank mode, because the tank mode does squish itself down a bit. Overall, the tank mode is awesome. This figure's worth it just for the tank mode, and it's worth it just for the robot mode, so it's worth it for both. I definitely recommend buying this guy. This tank mode, I love the forks at the front, the detail, the articulation of it is awesome. And then when you compare that to the robot mode, where he's got all the articulation you could pretty much ask for on a bulky guy like this, super awesome detail, super awesome callbacks to that infamous IDW design that everyone really likes. And the fact that it's an affordable, I say affordable, it's $30 still for a deluxe, which is kind of much, but affordable deluxe is awesome. And also the fact that you can put the siege weapon guys on him, like Six Gun. Six Gun with this guy looks really cool, but at the time of filming this, I hadn't bought Six Gun yet. But yeah, it's sweet. I definitely say recommend it. Also, here's Solek, because why not? But yeah, the robot mode, it's awesome. The vehicle mode is awesome. Transformation is awesome. I definitely recommend buying this guy if you can find it still. Again, they are making a Netflix version, but that's going to be, the paint job's going to be very different. And on eBay, the 2-pack of this guy goes for about $60 to $65, which is kind of like a retail. So if you want that more IDW-esque head sculpt, because that's what that one comes with, and you're okay with the Decepticon badge on his chest, pick that one up. I'd say that one's even better because the head sculpt matches the original IDW design that this guy's loosely based on. But this is definitely worth a pickup. So yeah, that's it for my look at Impactor. I almost called him Ironworks for some reason. If you like this review, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want. That's down below. Links to socials and all that are in the description. Follow me on Twitter, please. And I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.